Welcome to day one of the coaching extravaganza. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can head on over to allegrastine.com/extravaganza. The link is below, and it'll tell you all about what's going on this week. This video is coming out on July 11th, and I will have a new video every day until Friday the 15th. So I encourage you to follow along. You can subscribe here. You can sign up for the daily roundup, which is over on the website, and I'll just send little reminders about the stuff going out. Really quick, as far as who I am, in simplest terms, I'm a life coach. The problem with that is that a lot of people have no idea what that means, or they have a lot of misconceptions about what that means. Because, quite frankly, every life coach does things differently. And the reason that happens is because life coaching is a very personal experience, and I am my coaching. So the experience that you have with me is going to be different than the experience you have with any other coach that you maybe connect with. So it's a very, I guess in general terms, life coaching is a very present and forward-centered process. I really love to find out what makes my clients tick. I'm a big fan of exploring how we think and our relationship to our thinking and what happens when we let ourselves quiet our thinking, and that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit. And I'm also a big fan of finding out from that kind of quiet-centered place what it is that people want to create in their lives and to support them in taking action and making things happen. So this work that I talk about is very relevant in every part of your life. So you can pick where you want to enter into it. It's relevant in business. So if you're a business owner or you're a team leader, this can very much have positive application to your company culture, to how you creatively solve problems or connect with customers. If you are here for more personal reasons, this understanding can show up in your relationships, not only to yourself, but with others. And I really encourage you to kind of stay involved and as much as possible to loosen the hold you have right now on your story about your life and what your past is and what you think your future is going to be, because as you will learn this week, I am a big fan of challenging stories. I stand outside of the box that you have shown up with and I say, come out here, come take a look, just see what it's like, be willing to look at things in a different way, even just for a short time. And I find that the more willing we are to open up and release some of our very strongly held beliefs about how things work, especially when it comes to our personal selves, the more open we are to new discoveries and insights and ideas that could really shift things up for you in a positive way. So, really quickly, I want to just remind you, and you can find it on the website, these videos are coming out every day. I'm hoping to have them up by 10 a.m. Eastern. And then July 11th to July 15th from 12 to 1 Eastern, I will be available on Zoom in a virtual office hours. So the door will open at 12, it'll close at 1, and I'll be there all hour. And if as you're watching or you read some of the blogs that come out this week, if something comes up for you that you want to share or you want to connect one-on-one or you have questions or you just want to engage and talk directly, I hope you'll consider showing up for that. That link is also over on the Extravaganza page, and you can get it in the daily roundup if you would like those reminders. There's a space for that on the website. So today I just wanted to kind of get a big picture, to share a big picture of what it is that I teach and the foundations of my coaching. And if this is all you spend time with today, I think it'll be great for you. I'm using my hands a lot. I'm also a former teacher, or I'm a lapsed teacher. I left when my kids were born, but I love teaching and I love my whiteboard, so I'm going to draw some things for you. A couple of foundational pieces just to kind of share with you today as we get started. The first is well, just imagine something in your life, okay? Things happen in the world outside of you. You all have these things going on, and we'll call that a thing. And oftentimes, So a thing will happen in your life, and in response to that thing, you will have a feeling. And whether you are in touch with them or not, you are walking around all day responding to feelings in your body. If you're feeling angry, you're going to respond one way. If you're feeling frustrated, you're going to respond another way. If you're feeling happy and joyful, you're going to respond another way. So you're walking around carrying all these feelings, and you are living your life based on those feelings. So again, I think we can all agree that if you feel one way, you're going to act one way. And if you feel another, you're going to act another. What's missing from this little map, and we kind of at some point in our lives just believe that this is how it works, that things happen and we feel things, is that in between the thing and the feeling is something very personal to every one of you, and that is your thinking or thoughts. So a thing happens. You have thoughts about that thing. Sometimes it happens so quickly that I have people who are like, no, that just made me feel this way. But I always come in and say, no, it's what you think about that thing. You have thoughts, and as a result of your thoughts, you have feelings. So thoughts are like these mysterious little hidden, sometimes conscious, sometimes subconscious, little feeling creators that are constantly flowing in our minds. I mean, I think we all go through periods of time when we just feel flooded with thinking. I woke up this morning to use the restroom at 3 in the morning, and I got back in bed, and I was like, this is going to be one of those times when I just fall right back asleep. It wasn't. I just lay there, just thoughts coming into my mind, and they were creating feelings within me of anxiety, and I was more awake. So you live in a world of your thinking. How do I know this? Because if I put the same thing in front of 10 different people, those 10 different people are going to feel 10 different things. Now, they might be shades of similar feelings. A couple people might feel the same way about that same thing. But for the most part, especially with kind of more neutral circumstances, like watching a movie, let's say, every 10 people watch the same movie, they're all going to walk out with a different story about it, different feelings about it. So I know that the thing doesn't cause the feeling. Otherwise, we'd all feel exactly the same about the same thing. And that's not what happens. I also know that if a thing caused a feeling, that I would feel it all the time. So long as the thing existed, if that lamp made me feel sad, I would feel sad every time I'm with that lamp. But I'm not. So I forget the lamp's even there. So there's lots of things we can explore around this connection between things and our thoughts about things and our feelings as a result of those thoughts. But I just want to kind of get that out there as an initial discussion around a part of what it is that I'm going to be sharing with you this week. So the second thing that I would like to show you is if all of our thinking up here, the chatter thinking, right? All the stuff that's just in our minds all day is represented by the surface of the ocean. Okay? And the surface of the ocean is where, again, we just live in a world of our thoughts. Now, sometimes the surface of the ocean can be exciting. I mean, this works both ways. Sometimes we have thoughts that create positive, elated feelings in our bodies. But either way, whether it's a positive or a not so positive feeling that we're having, it's created by these lowercase t thoughts. Oftentimes, especially when someone comes to talk to me, it's because the thinking that they're having is creating a lot of feelings of stress, overwhelm, anxiety. Sometimes we have thoughts of anger. And these are very powerful feelings that, in my opinion, are beautiful indicators of the thinking going on in our minds. When I feel anxious, I know it's because I'm having a lot of anxious thoughts. When I'm feeling angry, I know I'm having a lot of angry thoughts, right? If I really believe, which I do, that I'm feeling what I'm thinking, then my feelings can kind of say to me like, oh boy, I am in a thought tornado, I call it, or I'm at the surface of the ocean just kicking around. But here's the cool thing, and this is going to be the second piece of what we really try and uncover this week, is way deep down in the ocean, deep down in the abyss, it gets very dark and very quiet and very still and very centered and very calm. I call that space your center. And the center is like your zone of well-being. It's a place of not elation and not misery. It's a space of stillness and quiet and knowing and safety and just goodness that exists down deep inside every single one of you. I believe that. I believe we were all born with this. If you look at kids spend a lot of time down here in this just chill space. That's not to say they don't get emotional, that they don't come up here really, pretty quickly and on a dime. But just as quickly as they come back here, they can shoot back down and suddenly they're relaxed and they're playing with their Legos. So this center, quiet, peaceful place exists in every single one of you. Now, I know some of you are watching and you're like, no way, I'm always stressed, or I'm never calm. But I want you to just kind of play with this possibility that sometimes you are calm. I know someone who said they were never calm who realized they're actually calm when they're petting their dog. When they pet their dog, they just slow down. They suddenly just forget to think about stuff. For me, I can find this and get back in touch with this when I'm hiking. I can find this space again when I'm driving or when I'm in the shower. It's just like I just drop down into this centered place. Now here's the beautiful thing about spending time down here. When you're down here in this dark, quiet, centered place, you are better able to spot what I call your thermal vents. Now, you know what thermal vents are? Thermal vents were discovered in the 70s by oceanographers and scientists when they were deep down in the abyss of the ocean and they found fissures and cracks in the surface of the Earth's crust underneath the ocean, from which massive columns of nutrient-rich, heated water and material were erupting from within the core of the Earth, or from the core of the Earth. So these huge pockets and columns of just beautiful, potential-filled stuff were bubbling up from the bottom of the ocean. I believe that we all have those. That from these pockets, these little, almost hidden places, is where you find your most creative, wise, problem-solving ability and potential that you might not have been in touch with for a while. So the stuff that comes up from here is what I call thoughts with a capital T. Let's see, where can I draw this? You can see it. Thoughts with a capital T. Another word for that space I call insights. You can call those aha moments. You can call that creativity, wisdom. All of that is accessible to you from your little mind thermal vents. And the beauty of thermal vents is that they're unlimited. They come from a place that's almost beyond description. Some people call this place underneath the mind. You can call it your well-being. You can call it the universe down here. I don't know. It's this magical, almost untouchable thing that happens. You don't know the answer in 1 minute, and then the next minute you do know the answer. It's like, whoa! That's what an aha moment feels like, or an insight feels like. It's like, what? Where did that come from? Now I've got the answer. So this week what we're going to explore is like the duality of these two places. In the coming days we're going to talk about you're thinking about yourself. What happens up here when you're thinking about yourself, your future, your past, worry, regret, how you feel about yourself, where you are in your life, and what happens when you let yourself kind of drop down from that thinking and starting to trust again that you have this space within you. Another day we're going to talk about your relationships with other people and what other people think and how you navigate that. and how it can affect when you have a better understanding of this. It changes how you communicate with people, how you better understand what other people are going through, and how to have a bit more kind of autonomy and personal power when other people are communicating what they think. So it's like you're up in your ocean and they're up in their ocean, and you're trying to make things happen or have better relationships. That's going to be that day. We're going to spend Thursday talking about creative problem solving. So how is it that you can get back down here? What is it that you do when you don't know what to do next? Which is a common thing. No matter where you are in your life, it's like, I don't know. Well, do you come up here to the top and just start freaking out about not knowing and try to like force your thinking into it? Or are you willing to get comfortable in not knowing and coming back down to this quiet, centered place where you know you can't see the answer just then, but trust that you will the longer and more comfortable you get in spending time in that quiet zone? And finally, on Friday, we're going to talk about, it's going to be a grab bag, so I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'm going to figure it out as the week goes along. So at this point, what I'd love to invite you to do is to head on over to the Extravaganza page. My email address is there, and I'll share it below as well. Send me a note with questions, insights, anything that has come up. I will be available through email all week. I invite you to come to the virtual office hours at 12 EST, noon Eastern Time. The link again is on the Extravaganza page, and it's in the roundup I send through email if you'd like to join the list. If you can think of anyone that would enjoy this conversation, please feel free to share the page with them or post it on your social media channels. I would love to connect with as many new people as I can this week. And I think that's it. It's all over on the Extravaganza page, so there's lots of ways to connect with me. Oh yeah, I'm offering free coaching sessions this week. So if this is really resonating with you and you feel like you'd like to dive into some of your own stuff one-on-one, I am opening up 30-minute coaching conversations. I have a handful left, and I'd love to try and squeeze you in. So again, reach out via email, and we'll see if we can get you on the calendar, possibly as early as today. Thank you again. I'll see you guys tomorrow and hopefully hear from you sooner than that. Talk to you soon.